1 second, guys. We about to soon begin in like a few seconds. So let me run one more music, and then we're probably going to start. All right. And wait. more person. What matters? Where is he? Okay. All right. That's not enough of that. What's good, everybody? What's good, Gold Professor, and those that will enter the building? As you know, this is the late night edition here on the Chaos Rain channel. As I go by the Chaos Rain, you're one and only person here. If you are new to the Chaos Rain channel, welcome to Chaos Rain channel. And for those that will be future subscribers, you know how to subscribe. You hit that red button. You hit that top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Rain channel. Also, I highly advise people to follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. I just noticed a latest update on Twitter. Twitter is buzzing right now. So follow me on Twitter, and add me on Facebook. Eric Rain on Facebook. Those are my Facebook links. Those are my links to follow me. Yeah, welcome. And also, if you want to be so inclined to contribute to the channel, to contribute and donate, $ chaos 8 rain. How is it spelled? All right, let me give you the spelling. CHAOS 8 rain. That's the spelling. If you could feel so inclined to donate to the channel. Now, I'm just checking certain message right now. I'm scrolling down. Nothing really interesting right now. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Now, what I found that just happened on Twitter, I'm not sure when this was tweeted, but it looks to me, if I find it, oh, it disappeared? Oh, unfortunate. It looks like Vladimir's daughter got killed in a firebomb. Interesting. Very interesting. And now the story disappeared. I wonder why. Let me see if I can find it. TV app that Pedro Pascal. No, that's not it. I'm gonna see if I can find that story. No, I can't find it now for some reason. It disappeared. Well, lucky I caught it before doing the stream with y'all. So yeah, it's unfortunate that happened. But normally in the times of war, which Russia is in with Ukraine, anything is happening right now, or anything can be possible. So I tell you, war and conflict is not an easy thing. As you know, when it comes to beginning and starting wars and conflict, there are going to be casualties. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of man. When you find things like this that happen, and there are going to be losses, unfortunately. But that is a part of life. Anyway, let me just check if any other notifications I have on here, and I probably will begin. Oh, wow. Somebody wrote some dumb stuff here. Anyway. Okay. So let's begin. What is the topic for today's stream? As you know, the thumbnail, the picture. Andrew Tate. Is he the next Kevin Samuels? Now, as you know, the good and brother, Mr. Kevin Samuels himself, has transitioned from this earth May the 5th, 2022. And since of this man's departure from not only this earth, but also social media and all other aspects that he was well known and talked about for the last 2 years, that he left an impression to the world of how men and how men and women qualify for each other, meaning that there are high value men out there, ladies, but do you qualify for these high value men? And he tells you what these men are looking for and how you potentially could get them. Now we all know that women standards, especially in the West, is pretty high, pretty unrealistic, but nonetheless it's high for a good reason. And one thing, if you ladies forgot, and you should always keep understanding, is that he tells you this constantly, that what you want, a man wants in return. And those are things that stick to me constantly when personally when I always think about the his message on YouTube and on IG. And he always tells these ladies constantly every night when he goes live, what you can qualify and what you can't qualify. Either in good faith or just for shock jock. But his message still lives on today in the hearts and minds of people. That's why if you look at it, you see a lot of men, particularly, and ladies now, taking his talking points and taking it at a much more advanced level. Some that they have even successfully made their own form of podcasting and shows on here. And all thanks to Mr. One Kevin Samuels. So he left an impression to the world that everybody's going to use and follow as a rule to not only grow a platform, but to put your name out there. And you have to be very controversial and very cunning, slick, and with grace and with the visuals to really say and do what he does. And he does this night in, night out. One time, if you remember back in 2020, he was broadcasting 5 days a week up into the up to the end of May, middle to end of May of 2020, until up roughly to 2021, where he cut down from roughly 5 broadcasts a day to 3 of last year, and even going this year. And one of the things that was known that he was not only mainstream, but he was going to do a lot of things down the pipe because of his work ethics and putting out the content night in and night out, which he has the capability of doing, because he said it on one video that if he diverted his content and start talking about women in the way he said it, he was going to be a millionaire. And he was not lying. Mr. Samuels was not lying at all. And I find it ironic that there are many men that's going to try to reduplicate and do what Kevin has done in the past 2 years on their own platforms. But a lot of them, a no veil, is going to have the same amount of success that Kevin has had for over 2 years. And the reason why I say this respectfully is because you cannot do what Kevin does, ironically, as a content creator, because you're not that nigga. And I mean that loosely. You're not Kevin. Kevin not only had the look, but he had the charisma and he had the visuals to back up what he's saying. One thing you never understand what Kevin always does is he always focuses on the visuals of his appearance, his studio, his presentation. It was always on point, night in, night out. If you look at average content creators, like even here, this is talking for Avatar, right? Personally, I mean, it's cool for now. But really, truly, when we talk about YouTube, this is more of a visual platform thing. And usually people get a more understanding once they see the person or see some form of visuals, which I've always been working on with, hopefully with a much more powerful system. I want to put more visuals on here to make it more enticing, to make Chaos Rain Channel a little bit more enticing, personally. But that will come in time. But most content creators, they only do is they, turn on the stream, talk their shit, turn off, may make a money, and go about their business. And really, truly, you can get away with that, but you're not getting away far in regards to growth in content or growing your content, lack of better words. So, like I said, that's what made Kevin so unique than all other male content creators that pushes the red pill or blue pill or purple pill or whatever pill rhetoric. So now, on to the one they call Andrew Tatum. Let's take a look. Background of Mr. Tatum. Know who we talking about? Who's this dude? And really, truly, I need to look at some of these people to know who these are, and you'd be surprised. Let me type them up. As I go back and open up Google. All right, Andrew Tatum. Who is he? We're not gonna do a deep background of this dude. That doesn't need to be looked at much. But let's open the screen, and I'm only going to do this briefly, and then read some of the articles that was talked about Mr. Andrew Tatum. So as you know, Imran Andrew Tatum III, Imori, I don't know if I pronounced it right, was born on December the 14th, 1986. So he is roughly a Sagittarius, about to turn 36 end of this year. Is American British internet personality and former professional kickboxer. Following his kickboxing career, Tatum began offering paid course and membership through his website and later rose to fame following a move to influencer marketing. Tatum's statement on topics such as sexual assault has been controversial and has been described as misogynistic, resulting in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter banning him from their platform. And as you go further down, if we look at more detail, the man, let's look. He has a well repetition career from his kickboxing days. Man, 6 feet, over 6 feet, 100 pounds. And it says here Tatum was born in Chicago, Illinois, and raised in Luton, England. His African American father, Emory Tate, was chess international master, and his mother worked as a caterer assistant. So he is a byproduct of misogynation, aka interracialism. Okay, that's pretty much it. We're not going further into this man's background. And as you could tell, the mixture produced Tatum. Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't know this was a black man until I got wind of it days ago. One of the things I noticed about this man is he's always constantly on social media, like the space of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and may pop up on certain videos on YouTube, especially. And one thing with Mr. Tatum I noticed personally is when I look at him first time, I see a European young man or a mid-aged man. I never think or contemplate that the channels or the guest appearance he was part of, that I would look at him as a mix or partially half black, half white man until you do the research. And it tells you the charisma of the interracial mixture between white and black. It creates wonders. Don't you think? But besides his mixed background, he's very controversial in a way where a lot of people, when they hear about him or watch his content, I could tell why ladies would cringe because what he says outlandish. It is indeed, unfortunately, misogynist. We are in now because we live in modern times. You know, as you know, there's so-called equality. Women work, they make their money, they do this. Men, work, make the money. And mostly you're going to have to be 50-50 and pair with each other and make a whole, most likely. But really, truly, with his rhetoric, he thinks the opposite. And rightfully so, because he is, I believe, a multimillionaire. What's his man net worth? Let me check his net worth. And you always got to be cautious, ladies and gentlemen, when a man talks like this, because let's be honest, a man that will talk the way like he talked, I always got to look at his net worth to say that he has what we call FU money. And as I'm going now to see what his net worth, if there is net worth, I do not see it. Oh, it says Andrew Tate's network, salary, endorsements, etc. He is roughly 350 million as of 2022. Net worth 30 million. How much he, according to Tate, he claims he has is net of U.S. worth is over close to $1 billion, over a quarter $1 billion. And some people say he's a trillionaire, but how the hell you retrieve a trillionaire when, on the average, if you selling course and selling this, you're not gonna make $1 trillion in under a couple years, especially at the age of 35, going on 36. To be a trillionaire, you gotta be in business for roughly, if it's done right, over 20 more years. As you know, LeBron James is now, quote unquote, now considered a billionaire now. But it took him roughly now 19 years. Not 18, 19, because he's now just eclipsed the billionaire mark in 2022. Remember, he got drafted in the NBA in 2003. So that's a period of 19 years. It took him 19 years to accumulate the wealth he has now. And that's by planning, smart marketing with his money, investing properly. That's what made his money and his riches. Now I see in the chat room. Let's see. Let's read. I'm not mad at Mr. Tate. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said, but he has his points. Oh yes, and that's what we're going to talk about. Gold Professor. Make sure you share this too, brother. I think Mr. Tate is a unique specimen in his own way. How he dish out his content. Before I read what was the latest news on him, I'd like to turn and find what really, in regards to what made him banned. And it looks like he's banned on a lot of platforms now, from what I'm noticing. So let me go to Andrew Tate News and see what's the scoop going on here. Let's see what's the recitable news. Nope. I'm trying to find a good one. We could start with a Daily Beast. Yeah, we could start from that. And let me check my other source, make sure I'm not reading the same thing. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to look at this one. And let me make sure it looks like a reliable source for now. No, this one's too short. Oh, no, we got NBC News. This one's better. Let me see if I could pull this one up. Yeah, I like this one better. All right. We're going to read. And as you know, there's going to be some reading tonight, people. So sit back and enjoy. You're not going nowhere. You ladies need to stop using toys and playing with yourself. And you brothers, men in general, stop backing off. You're not busting no nuts. I highly advise people to need to stop playing with themselves. But that's another story. All right, let's share the screen. Woo-hoo-hoo. Andrew Tate banned from Facebook and Instagram. Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook, confirms the news Friday. This was Friday. Scrolling down. Andrew Tate, a self-described successful coach who has been criticized for what many see as misogynistic advice, has been banned from Instagram, Facebook, etc. Remember, a man that said he has net worth of $300 more, 300 million more, or a net worth of 30 million, etc. He has the FU money, mind you. A spokesperson for Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook, confirms to NBC News on Friday that the company removes Tate's official account from the social media platform for violating the company policy on dangerous organizations and individuals. The spokesperson also confirms that the ban is permanent. Really? I gotta see if they're gonna really hold their end of the bargain, because there's a lot of people. I remember one time they banned Trump from Twitter. Allegedly. Well, not allegedly. It's true. They did say they banned him. And I heard Elon Musk was supposed to buy Twitter, but he reneged on what he said he was going to do. But, like always, if you got money like that, like Trump has, and he has big money, he created his own platform, which he has done. And it says here, a spokesperson for Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook, from MC Friday, the company removed official platform violate company policy and dangerous organization and individuals. The spokesman also confirmed that the ban is permanent, but I read that already. The ban falls on the online campaign to deplatform Tate, which influence on his primary young audience has become a growing concern among parents and teachers. Uh-oh. When you're talking about misogynist language and all that stuff, yeah, you possibly will get banned. And if you're growing, and we gotta be careful here. We are media influence, depending on our audience from subscribers and followers. That if you have a rhetoric that people are gravitating to, that appeals to the opposite sex in regards to attack the opposite sex, you're gonna have problems, especially in America, personally. Because, you hear stories that this is a gynocracy, all this. Yes, we have all this badness in America. It's problematic. But really, truly, as a man, you got to move accordingly, unfortunately. Now, for ladies, if they don't move accordingly, life kicks them in the ass. It is what it is. Let's keep going. The ban falls on the online campaign on deplatforming Tate, whose influence on the primary young audience has become a growing concern among parents and teachers. Before the ban, Tate had 4.7 million followers on IG. Okay, Tate has active in far-right circles for years, but he began gaining followers and mainstream attention after appearing on multiple podcasts and Twitch streams. Interesting. He continues to go viral in large part to his extreme statements comparing women to property, graphical, describing how he would assault a woman for accusing him for cheating, and claiming that men would rather date 18 and 19-year-old over women in their mid-20s. Hold on. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I got this. Okay. I gotta get my bearings straight. Oh, God. Let me drink this, man. Boy. Woo. I tell you. Yeah, I tell you this. These these dudes are wild. I swear to God, man. Now, mind you, he is a multi-millionaire. So the pickings of the ladies are to his liking. Now, the problem with all this, and Mr. Tate personally, is that you're in America. And much times a lot of men or mixed men like himself, you talk too much. You tell everybody your business. You tell them your views and opinions. And this is what happens, especially if you're getting a following like what he's doing right now. Now, mind you, we're not China, where they tell their women, if you don't get married by the time you turn past 25, you're a used woman. You're a waste. You cannot say this and say that and proclaim it here in America, that because Majority of women, right, they have kids already, which most of them do, or some of them are single to have kids, which some might. You can tell them that if they don't get married by 25 or so, that you're no good. And let's be honest, Andrew Tate is a brave one to say this. But most of the cats that do content on YouTube that's behind avatars, your message is not really serious because no one knows or sees you. You're talking out your ass. It is what it is. I'm just keeping 100, y'all. So when the difference between him and everybody else is he's able to grow far because people could see him. They could feel and touch Mr. Tatum. They can't touch the average person that puts out the same rhetoric like him or any other content creator that's pushing certain ideologies here in America. They'll look at it as weird. They look at it as something that's not taken serious, and they look at it as some type of incel. Personally, it is what it is. Let's keep going. And become the former and perform have had sex with fewer men. Okay. His views has been widely reposted on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Oh, woo, oh, damn. And you know who's been posting them mostly? Young men or men over the age of 18. And I wouldn't be surprised young males under the age of 18 are doing it as well, because let's be honest, social media influencers influence people that's over the age of 12, mostly. You hear it constantly, gentlemen, that there are women that promote things of, doing things to not have births, to even go as far as to use men. And they will get influenced by young women, and nothing will happen to them because, let's be honest, women consume more than men. Men like to hoard the resource. Women need the resource. So obviously the government will not subsidize your ass. They want you to spend money. Matter of fact, they want you to spend money tomorrow. When you wake up and you get out your bed and you put on your clothes, and before you put on clothes, make sure you brush your teeth and wash your fucking face. They want you to go and spend some money and consume like everybody else. That's why when they put policy in place and put commercials, it's not for your ass. It's for the women to spend the money. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Please talk to me. Talk to me. Yes. Yes. You must spend the money. Women are only known for spending the money and consuming than your ass. So let's keep going. Make sure you like the stream. Likes are free. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people in the building. I'm going to probably open up for people's take and response, hopefully, God willing. All right. Let's keep going. Where am I? In his denial, allegations of misogyny, and previous told NBC News that his statements involved teaching men to avoid toxic people as a whole. Okay. Tatum has also been accused of running a pyramid scheme through his online program, Hustlers University 2.0, and of being involved in a human trafficking operation after Romania police raid his mansion based on a tip about an American woman held against her will. Tate denies both allegations. And why is so? I wonder, is because you talk about that women are used goods before the age of 25 or something much bigger. Because when you put out rhetoric like this, and have y'all forgot there was something floating around the internet about they watching these so-called extremists, and they watching some people that talks about their so-called views about women, i.e. they watching your ass. If you talking about women should be on the pool of their own blood, you should, if women doesn't give you sex, there has to be some consequence, some form of extremist rhetoric. And really, if you're a man and you stand on it, you should stand on it personally if you believe so. But no say that you're in an environment like the West, the first world nation, that they don't take highly of your words. One of the few things they will do, they will ban you from social media if your rhetoric gets out of hand and people are following your rhetoric. And Even go as far as if your rhetoric goes far as YouTube and it goes and it spreads out the way it did, you will also be banned as well. They have not done it yet, but it's coming. It's coming. You notice your famous YouTubers that talks his pills nonsense, he has slowly pushed himself away from your talking points. And he's been doing this now for months. And the reason why he does it, because he is scared. And I get it. Because like I say, you want to make the money, you don't want the problems. Yes. But the problem is they record and keep tabs on you immediately when you say this dumb shit. Remember one thing what Kevin Samuels always said, and this is what separates him and Tatum. He knows the importance of image and your digital footprint. And there's one thing I want men to know, especially black men, that your digital footprint is always important. And you two ladies, your digital footprint is also important as well. What you put out here stays with you in the digital space forever. Forever, yes. Forever, ever, yes. Forever, ever, yes. Forever. They got so much servers. They got so much cloud computer. You know about the automation and this nonsense. They got so much unique tools. They got artificial intelligence that talks to these people behind closed doors and communicate with them. And they say, we have the records. We have this. We are monitoring and we capture every speech patterns. They give back to those so-called servers, to those officials that run these servers, and they keep tabs on your ass. It's like a nice digital report. A long report of your ass and your activities. And don't forget, ladies, you're being watched as well too, because your rhetoric just gets as bad as these men. No, they're not going to focus on you too much because you're a woman, but don't bet that they're not watching your ass too. And this is the first I'm telling y'all this personally, because a lot of people said that the internet's free and you can run and say what the fuck you want because we have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, there is a cost to everything. If they tell you it's free, they deny it and they're lying to you. Because you did not fight for this freedom. This freedom was so-called given to you, and if it was given to you, it can be taken away at a moment's notice. And that's just the honest truth. I don't want to spill the beans, but I'm keeping it real with y'all. Personally. You don't live in no free world. Everything costs. And depending on how much it costs, it is worth your money or not, you're being paid for it nonetheless. And that's one thing I want people to have a clear understanding. So don't tell me that you put out your rhetoric and think it's not of any concern or any importance. Yes, it is. Because if you look at Mr. Tatum, because he's already well known in the digital space, but before he went into digital space, he was known in the physical world, i.e. boxing, that brought attention to the world because he's a well-known, I think, kickboxer. And he took what he has done and his notoriety to the digital space by saying rhetoric like, you know, you must have less bodies as possible. I'm not sure how that's possible because women out here are fucking sucking everything. So to tell a woman, white or black, to stop fucking sucking other men that they sexually attract to is impossible. You're delusional. It would be nice, but I live in a reality, and you can't, and that does not stand foot to tell women what they should not be doing at this point. Unless you have some serious leverage. Which, you know, most men today, we operate on a bigger scale, which is the government that runs everything. Things that's run by policy. Movers or shakers. And majority of men that run their mouth are not those movers or shakers in high office. Unfortunately, people. Unfortunately. And I'm just looking right now because I'm trying to share this. All right. So let's keep going in the article. He also received a backlash in 2017 when at the height of his in the height of the Me Too movement, he tweeted that women should bear some responsibility for being sexually assaulted, amid other widely criticized as statements appearing to blame women for the abuse and harassment they received. Twitter permanently suspended his account this year. Now that's just the article of why he was banned. How you doing, Faith? Now, I hope you're sharing this on your social media on Faith or anything. I'm hoping this gets attention. And I'm going to eventually open up, knowing it's the late night dish, but we all know we're not doing nothing special to have y'all thoughts and opinions. Now, the next article I'm going to look into is more of this, what's really going on in regards to rape and, what we call sex trafficking. Let's look at this. Andrew Tate, house raided in Romania on charges of human trafficking after he alleged kidnapped an American woman. Now, before I continue with this, I'm not sure if anybody else has covered this. I heard about this, and I was not going to cover it. I was going to leave this alone because usually I don't follow these people. I heard about them on other channels, but I never followed them. But let's say if I did, I always got to look at say, what is the significance and importance of following these individuals, in my opinion? Why young men, 18 up or under 18, following a man like Mr. Tatum and his rhetoric? Are they following this because of what's already been said about, the talking points of the men about female nature and what men want and what they expect out of women? Or is something more bigger? You tell me. So let's go in the article. And this was 2 days ago. Andrew Tate, house raided in Romania on charge of human trafficking after he alleged kidnapped an American woman. After Andrew Tate's house was raided by Romania police and accusations of human trafficking were made against him, fans have openly banished Tate. According to the Romanian newspaper, the raid was initiated by rumors that an American woman was being held captive at Andrew Tate's residence. During the operations, police discovered the American as well as Romanian woman, according to the article. Andrew Tate's house raided in Romania on charge of human trafficking after he appears kidnaps an American woman. People are freaking out about young boys looking up to Andrew Tate, but totally fine with young girls looking up to Cardi B and the Kardashians. This is by Jake Shields. And there's a lot of replies. Next one. How are people still debating Andrew Tate's views on women, as if he isn't literally being investigated for human trafficking and holding women hostage in his house in Romania? Interesting. Why is Andrew Tate house was raided by Romania police? The house of popular Andrew Tate was raided by Romanian police back in April as part of a human trafficking investigation, drawing further attention to Tate's connection to key figures in the American MAGA movement. Tate was primarily renowned in the online extreme right prior to the April 11th raid as a kickboxer and outspoken Trump supporter. Tate portrays of himself as a wealthy playboy who smokes cigars on a social media led on one fan to refer to him as the Lord of Toxic Masculinity. Interesting. Romania-based companies which use webcams models to dope men into transferring the Tate brothers tens of thousands of pounds were covered in the March issue of Britain Daily Mirror newspapers in one of his YouTube videos. Andrew Tate claims that 40% of the reasons he relocated to Romania was because the police there were less likely to investigate claims of sexual assault. Really, Mr. Tate? Or is something bigger? Because the laws outside America in regards to potential sex trafficking are very harsh. And It's very questionable, very questionable. Let's keep going. Andrew Tate, controversial relationship with police or with politics. Sorry. Tate's questionable behavior did not prevent him from developing relationships with prominent Trumpian right figures. Tate, socialist in a around Washington D.C. in 2019 with well-known internet Trump activists and conspiracists. Tate posed for a photo in Trump Washington hotel with a Brexit supporter Nigel Farragut, Farage, and chatted with other like Pizzagate conspiracists Mike Korvix in the lobby. Later that year, Korvik traveled to Romania to visit the Tate brothers, whom he had previously described in the podcast introduction as his buddies. The Tates were accused of actual human trafficking, whereas Savic made his fame online by fabricating allegations of the practice involved in Washington pizza. That's it. Y'all can find these articles. I'm hoping y'all guys could Google this. Yeah. What's this? I don't want to see this crap. I know. So seems to me that they've been watching this dude for some time now. And for whatever good reason. And the reason why this is because you draw attention to yourself. And let's be honest, attention in the modern era we live in the modern world we live in, is like currency. It's like currency, people. You cannot, and I mean you cannot, feel that you're going to make anything of yourself if you're not getting the actual attention needed. If you notice with women today, and I've said this on many channels, that men could do to fight back if need be. One thing that you as men that has some control is how much attention and how much dick you give a woman. And if you cut away, not one but both, because let's be honest, if you cut the dick away, there's two options she's going to do. Either she's going to go find another man to go, have her indulgence, or she's going to use toys. And let's be honest, I did not mention this on the other stream that if you're going to be a celibate as a woman and you're not going to have no sexual intercourse per se, you need to go real cold turkey. That means don't play with your pussy either. Any toys. That's when you know that you really got real control of your sexual urge. It's a good reset for you as a woman, personally. You'll probably be more clear and you'll gain more understanding wisdom when you go that route. So, but onto Mr. Tate. It is evident now. Evident that he's gonna have his hands full in the coming months. Personally, I'm not sure what the future holds for Mr. Tatum, but it doesn't look good to me. It does not look good at all. Will he do some serious time in jail, or will he be prosecuted on these allegations or these things that they've been documenting and observing him? I don't know. I think one thing that's hurting him the most is his rhetoric and his message, because his message is not staying on the internet, it's spreading throughout all other platforms. And because that, he puts a bigger target on himself by putting out this so-called rhetoric. And personally, it's gonna backfire on Mr. Tate. One second, people. Let me do this. All right, guys. I opened this line up for a few minutes. I've said pretty much I need to say about Mr. Andrew Tatum. From my perspective, from what I see out of my two eyes, um, like I said, the internet is a very much interesting place, and even the universe is going to be even more of an interesting place as well, in my opinion. Because the metaverse, personally, is going to be another environment where a lot of people are going to bring their dysfunction and craziness over there. And I have not really took a part of the metaverse yet, but it's something I'm looking into as well because I see things moving virtually, and something that I cannot like leave alone. Because last year, Mark Zuckerberg, that runs both Facebook and Instagram, has changed the name of the platform, which eventually going to move to Meta. So if you're not a person that's not keeping up in the trends and paying attention, you're going to be left behind. Because how the world's structured now is moving more and more digital. Or everything now, if you're going to be purchasing anything, it's going to be more digital. So you better get comfortable with the digital space, in my opinion. Now, some other things that I did not really said and left off. I mentioned about the travel bros and the passport bros earlier this week. And I had a conversation with Miss Letitia Underwood about this, and she said that one dude particularly went and took his bag elsewhere and goes onto the DR, especially for every week, every couple months for sex. And the reason why this was a brother now, the reason why he does is because he got what we call a sexual STD. And he's spreading it now in other places because he cannot have sex here in America because no one is going to be down once you know you have a sexually transmitted disease, per se. Which can be reversible, but you're going to have to look into it. I mean, see, the problem with a lot of us today, we don't understand. A lot of these diseases could be dealt with in reverse. But if you're going through the medical establishment ways, yeah, you're going to have that for permanent. That disease you have is permanent. I remember when Dr. Sabi was around, he healed a person that had what they call AIDS over 40 years ago, per se. And really, truly, a lot of the disease that people suffer take is reversible. Is not only your diet has changed, but you're going to have to take some measures to really start cleansing the body. Because if you look at the food out here, it's deliberately causing toxins into your system. And the reason why I mention this again, because I deal with solutions. I don't deal with symptoms and patching up stuff. Because once you get to that mindset, you put yourself at risk. I don't care what new things out here that say they're going to treat. They have not cracked no disease since the disease been out here for decades. And y'all forgot they said they haven't really cured the common cold properly yet. So you think they're going to cure all these other diseases? Why so? I make billions of dollars. Once things are making and racking in the billions, you're in trouble. Because now that means they got to keep making this money. It's instant money. It's like an instant check every week. Because you're going to be dependent. And if y'all remember the history of the medical establishment, a good book that talks about this is Medicine by Forrest Whitaker and Jennings. I highly advise y'all read that book. All right. Let me see if I can get some people on the phone. Where is the links? I'm assuming maybe I might end it early. We'll see. We'll see. All right, he's busy. All right. Oh, matter of fact, did I forget one person? Let me ask Tyrone. Tyrone,
Yeah.
I have a question. Cause you're my first caller. Come on, I'm on the air now with people, and I'm covering Andrew Tatum in regards that will he be the next Kevin Samuels? You familiar with Andrew Tatum?
No, Gary, I don't even watch YouTube no more, man.
No,
I
he's
mean,
not.
I watch YouTube, but
He's not on YouTube. Well, he's on YouTube, but he's on many platforms. He's on social media mostly. People put his videos on YouTube, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Andrew Tatum.
Yeah.
That was his name, Andrew Tatum.
Yep.
Okay, what about him?
Well, it seemed to me this dude is taking on a lot of talking points of the so-called manosphere space and going even beyond, where now young people are sharing his content and getting influence. So you know what social media has done from Facebook, Instagram, and even Twitter? They permanently removed them off their platform, off his platform. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason why they removed him because his message was getting too far out, far reach, where people are getting influenced where they're now repeating his talking points.
Well, I'm trying to look him up now.
Matter of fact, I do something better. Let me send you some on Facebook. While you looking?
All
right, I'm gonna send it to you now.
Because I might be familiar with his face or something. I don't.
No, don't worry. Let me see. Where's your name? Tyrone Thompson. Let me find you.
Like I said, I'm normally looking at like tech stuff. And
matter of fact, you in the group?
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can find the group. All right, I'm surprised I didn't catch the thumbnail. But anyway, never mind.
Catch what?
I put the thumbnail on the group, on the Facebook group. Anyway, it doesn't matter. See if you find it. You should see something now.
Okay. Okay, yeah, Andrew Tate. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so his house was raided in Romania because, as you know, and I didn't know this, Tyrone, this man is a mulatto. He's a mixed breed man. His father's black and his mother's white. But you would not notice that. I would not notice until I did the Wikipedia background of him. Okay, he looks like a white man, you know?
Right.
And this is why I tell people many times that they said black cannot be a race. I said, give it 2 generations. You know what I'm saying? This man is a byproduct of interracialism. And he looks mostly white. You get me?
Right.
But you wouldn't now much. The father could probably mix himself, you know, but like I said, I doubt that. But the point is this: he comes with a rhetoric that is spreading and is drawing a lot of complaints to teachers and other people throughout, you know, the communities, that young people are saying his rhetoric about a woman. If a woman doesn't get married, she's used. Men should deal with younger women. It's a point that women should be what the guy said? Hold on. The things that he said like this.
Okay.
I give you.
I see that he's all on that manosphere stuff, that misogyny stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but basically, I ain't gonna say Kevin. I'm gonna say Kevin Samuels, like not exactly.
He's not.
But, but there's a market for that stuff, Gary. There's a market for men to get out here and dog women. And you know, kind of express their dislike with the relationship status. Him being a professional kickboxer or fighter or whatever, I don't see why he would be motivated to do stuff like that. Besides, you know, trying to raise popularity and know that this is a niche, so he can become famous off of. You know, a lot of these people are just doing it just to get into that
market.
That algorithm of them, you know, getting numbers and all of this kind of stuff, you know. So this might be this guy's motivation.
And you know, that's another way of looking at it, personally, because if you're a kickboxer and you have a university teach people how to come up, and the university itself, they say, is scamish in its way. But I don't know, because I don't really subscribe to this man. I don't know this man. I'm just covering. I'm noticing the trend. Briefly, you know me, man. I don't cover trends, but I took the time out of my way to look into this dude anyway, because anytime when someone's been trending and people saying the name, and even to the point where they're comparing somebody, I gotta put some investigation on this. You get me? Because Kevin Samuels, as you know, for the last 2 years, he only was trending because he changed his direction from men to women.
Uh-huh.
There's a video now out there. He said that if he focuses attention on women and put it in a way where is somewhat attacking and in a way, he will become a millionaire. And he was not lying. He made this video 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So how is a man of his caliber say that? Because remember, he's an image consultant, so he consults not only men but women. How he already declared said, if I change my platform is, I'll make more money than this. That tells you there's no market for men, improving men.
Well, yeah, I mean, that tells you that these people that are doing it, like this Andrew guy, is aware of what they can, what buttons they can push, and what they can say and become popular. No matter how distasteful it is, they just do it anyway,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, there's no real market. There's no market really improving men per se, and men are gonna follow. Do you get me, Tyrone? And it's concerning because I think there's a woman right now, and she's kind of questionable because she might be gayish in a way. How she says she lost her job because she tried to self help in regards in the field of psychiatry for men. And I'm thinking, well, let's be honest. Men are not consumer based in society. They like to hoard and keep resource. If they consume, it's usually on two things: food, clothing, and sex. That's not a big base to consume. You know what I'm saying? Especially when sex and all other small necessities. So really, when you look at it as a marketing scheme, most advertisers they push and cater to women because women it makes sense financially. Women are going to consume everything. You get me? And so if that's the case, when in regards to self-improvement men or deal with men issues, men overall, bro, they have to be organized to really get certain things done. A lone wolf mentality, you don't get stuff done if you're doing it by yourself as a man. To get stuff done, you need to work with other men. There's no way around it because there's no market for you. No one's saving you, and no system's gonna focus on it because you don't spend enough money up here. You get me? You don't consume what they want you to consume. So when you see they put policies in place, like give women certain subsidies, money, or things, even to the point where they're going to give them certain subsidies so they can have children, it tells you they need women to keep investing in this economy, putting back in, not men. So, like I said, when Kevin made that conscious decision, and really he really made that decision during a stream which I saw him did, back when the PhD dude that got his JD back in 2020. That's when his platform started to change because he had women come up and ask their opinions. And since that night, he started focused more on women back in middle of May. I know because I watched the content he did. You get me? Right. So he decided to make that push now. You get me? And lo and behold, 2 years later, he's a multimillionaire. And almost under 2 years. Over 2 years.
Yeah, because there's a market for it, and those guys they're keenly aware of what the market is and how they can manipulate the market. So there's a market for it, and those guys like this Andrew guy.
Yeah,
he know that. It may not be something that you or I use as a business platform or a business plan or whatever, but these guys are using it as a business, and they found a niche, and they know that it's popular. And even though it's not big like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, it do have a base, and it's got a base of listeners that will, consume this type of stuff. So they're pandering. It's almost like politics, like social politics, to a certain base that wants to hear this type of vitriol, if you will.
Yeah, and the vitriol only goes so far until the point where they said, "No, we're gonna have to pull the plug," First, and which they did. They actually pulled a plug for now on this man. You get me?
The thing is, even though they pulled the plug on social media, because I just seen the headlines, that guy still got a follower.
No, he's always going to have fun because once you are putting yourself out there in the internet, the following is going to come. You get me? They're going to find ways to find you. You get me?
Right. So he's still going to be able to reach people and probably make a little bit of money off of those that base that he created.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely, and make a lot of money too. If you think about it, the pool of money of how much money a man can make out here if he directs his content only on that, you're gonna get some males even today that's gonna have their either shortcomings with women, which some complain they do, and they're gonna find platforms to really exclude their vitriol, you know what I'm saying, of what they can't attain, you know what I'm saying. Remember, if you remember, I said this earlier in the stream. It is how most men now they're traveling outside the country to, I guess, find love, i.e. some coochie, and trust me, you traveled because you've been to different countries when you serve in this service, correct?
Right.
Now, from your own experience, I never asked you this, and I'll probably ask you now since I have you on the phone. That do you find a lot of the people that you work with while you were in the service that they were like, marrying foreign women or tricking when they were while in the military? You know what I'm saying? During the time from your
relationships form between people across racial lines, man. And I don't know, I don't have anything against people dating outside of their race or anything. I know that's a big thing in the black community, but it is what it is when people fall in love. Feelings are feelings. But I mean, yeah, people have married. I was in Germany for a while, so people married Germans and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't look nothing into it,
Matter of fact, there was a book, and I remember Mary say he has a book in here. He's not going to reveal it yet. I don't think so, but it tells stories about this black man per se. When he's out there serving and he gone to other countries, and let's say that he is creating a nice little tanning society over in Germany back in the after World War II, and some of them didn't really come back, and some of them didn't come back.
You're right. People got different motivations, man. Just like this, there was a trend in America here where, it was black men going to Brazil or going to Central America. Yeah. People have those things and dating Filipinos for whatever reason because they're dissatisfied with people in this country. But, I don't know. Those guys got psychological issues and personal issues that they need to work out. But if you're talking about a genuine relationship and it's across race lines, then that's something different,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But like I said, it's not like men. Well, personally, how I look at certain men, let's be honest, they feel that they are far from improvement and approach. And when you start thinking like that and you have that mindset, it's problematic, personally, because now you think you're perfect and you're above any criticism or improvement.
Right.
Now, how the hell you could build society or maintain society when men like that are thinking and operating like that in numbers?
Well, yeah, I don't deal with folks like that, man. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I hear these folks on social media, man. I just don't deal with them. Just like this Tatum guy. This Tatum guy probably got a bunch of guys following him that would probably use the rhetoric of it's better to date a woman that's outside of America because they're more submissive and all this kind of dumb shit. So I don't follow those guys. I think that's stupid. That's just somebody who don't know how to socially interact with people. Those people are ignorant, man. I don't follow those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really fond of following people per se. But like I said, the society we live in today, people are more followers. If anything's trending,
because you got social media and they got all these influencers and this guy like the Andrew Tate guy or whatever, and those guys really put an imprint on young, impressionable, and sometimes middle-aged and older men's minds, and give them this fantasy look at the world about empowerment when it comes to women and shit like that. Instead of people facing their own situations and reality and dealing with that, they look at the world through the lens of these crazy people.
I see. Yeah, man. So, like I said, if men are gonna be traveling for sex, they better do it responsibly, which I doubt it. One thing I forgot to leave out, and I told Miss Underwood this, is that most of those dudes that travel in those third world countries, Latin countries, they're not just having any sex; they're having all forms of sex including the anal sex, the butt sex. You know what I'm saying? Remember what's the name? What's the guy that called Greg? He has no problem doing something like that. And I said, Greg, you nasty piece of shit. And so you do it. He said, oh yeah, it's wonderful. You should try it. I said, what? Bro, you're weird, man. But it tells you that if the sister's not down for the real weird, freaky sex these dudes are indulging, they watching porn or not engaging, they're gonna try to turn out a lot of sisters, and that's just wrong.
Well, I mean, they're traveling overseas, they're buying plane tickets, they're paying for sex, so
yeah,
they're paying for whatever they're getting. So, and you know, to each his own, I guess. You know, they can spend their money however they want to, but the reality is that their social skills are down, and they have to use.
You said it right there. They don't have this. Let's be honest, they don't have no social skills.
Right. So they have to use their finances and resources to get whatever fulfills them in that manner. You know, so that's just the bottom line, and it's just that simple, man.
And I'm always a proponent, and I would say personally advocate that some improvement is a necessity. It's always an ongoing process, but I know it doesn't sell much. I know one particular content creator is going to gear his content in regards focus on the men, and I would tell him personally, good luck with that, because if the one Mr. Samuels couldn't do it, and they question his sexuality and all that nonsense, right? Which I'm not saying is true or not. You think this particular man, I'm not gonna say names, y'all will see in time, he's gonna do it? I just don't see it happening, bro. I just don't see it happening.
Is he gonna do what though?
No, Kevin focus on the women when they have him called in and ask about certain things and questions. This man's gonna do the reverse. He's gonna have men call up. He's gonna ask the question to men, the same like Kevin did.
Right.
He's gonna do that.
You see that when Kevin Samuels passed away, there's a void now. So there's people, unintentionally or intentionally, there's people out there speaking that may fill that void because people are looking to fill that void, right? So this guy is popular. He got kicked off of social media, whatever. He may fill that void that was left by Kevin Samuels. You know, it might not be the same narrative or the same talking points, but there's an empty space there that needs to be filled in the minds of some.
I think in my opinion, how I see it, to give the answer to this question, he's not really considered a replacement of this man. And here's why. It's because how Kevin goes about his content and how he presents himself and his words are very calculated and is not only direct, but he's very careful and very precise with his words. You get me? Andrew Tate, because he's a mid 30-something-year-old mixed brother, he's not. He's very loose, unapologetic with his words, and is said to the point where because he already had a following already before and after Kevin was gone, that because he's gone, and the only thing that happens is people are going to start looking for content that's similar like Kevin. And that's what made him get even greater attention. So if Kevin was still alive today, we'd not be hearing about Mr. Tatum personally. But because
no, he's not going to replace him. Of course not.
No.
You know, like I said, that emptiness is out there, and people are looking for certain type of content. And sound like he touches on it a little bit, not in the same way Kevin Samuels did, but you know, those guys are out there looking for this type of content. You know.
Yeah. And indeed, they're gonna find it, and they're gonna feel said that some void is somewhat replaced. And it's not a perfect void, but it's a void replaced nonetheless. And like I said, no one's going to replace him. But I'll tell you one thing. A lot of content creators are taking what they learned from it and going to try. You know? They're going to fail doing so, but goddamn, they're going to try anyway. So like I said, how I look at things is that, you know, he's a good little temporary replacement, but he's not the official replacement. And I'll be honest, his rhetoric, it's going to get him in serious trouble. I won't be surprised he's in the jail to what his actions, from what he said, and his actions lead to what he's saying. And don't be fooled because he's in another country that he's safe. Like I said, they're watching. The internet is watching these people. You get me? So, like I said, Be wise with your words, gentlemen. All right. Anything else, Tyrone? I'll let you go.
No, brother. I appreciate the conversation, man. I'm getting ready to go ahead and watch the Game of Thrones sequel.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Cool.
All right, brother.
We'll talk there. All right. I guess people are not interested to have the conversation. That's cool. This is pretty much it. One thing I will say this, and I'll say this again. There's no replacement for Mr. Kevin Samuels. I don't see it happening in y'all lifetime or minds. But there are going to be many content creators that are going to try to do so. And trust me, they're going to have their hands filled to the point they already got an audience that's searching for content that was similar to Kevin. Now, we could say Kendra G could be one of them, but the problem is she don't know how to watch her damn mouth. And she's not really intelligent to know saying there's certain things you don't do as a content creator. But like I said, women are the hardest to learn because they don't learn much from the mistakes. I was hoping she did, but like I said, every person is different. There's no such thing as bad publicity, ladies and gentlemen. All publicity is good publicity. So they put your name in the ether, accept it. It's less resource you got to put in to put your name out there, I say. So that's it. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to today's podcast. If you're new to this channel, Chaos Rain channel, you know where to find Chaos Rain. Make sure you hit the red button, the top notification bell, not the middle, not the low. You do not get enough from middle and lower bells. The top bell is where the party is at. Also, and I forgot to tell you earlier in the show, please follow me on Discord. Be the many of the chaos reigns. In the order which we restore the order in which the world we live in today. Join the Discord service. Be the many. Also, follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7 and add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. And those are links to follow Chaos Rain. Thank y'all for listening to today's stream. Hope to catch you on next stream. I think I'm going to cover some other things, maybe some colorism or some nonsense. Who knows? Depending, I'll figure it out. You know me, but like I said, you know where to find me. You know what it is, people. As always. Ring.